Right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to On Loose Lines Thursday night style. And I'm a little bit late because I just done a bit of a boo-boo. So I just got to get rid of something because I can't use it now because I done a mistake. Hit the wrong button at the wrong time. I was late enough going live as it was. So I apologise for that. Okay, Thursday night On Loose Lines live because I can. And that's the only reason why. So please feel free to get involved in the chat. That's actually not the one I was after. I think I'm live, but for some reason it hasn't come up that we are live just at the minute. We'll just give it a little refresh, but we are definitely going out live, and I believe I'm live. So just not sure what's going on. There we are. Much better now. Okay, so Timmy, good evening to you. Timmy White from New Zealand. Got a little bit of New Zealand content in the show tonight. Cam Kirkwood's coming on because they've got a big meeting on this tomorrow night at Addington. Massive night, three group races. I'm not going to say they're all group ones. I better just check that. There is definitely at least one plus three terrific support races. So Cam Kirkwood joined me earlier today because it's a little bit later over there, 8 o'clock, to, I suppose, help me promote what's going to be a very, very big program of horse racing coming up. It had to do that at the wrong time, didn't it? Group 2, Group 1. So we've got the Group 1 Woodland Stud Trotting Oaks, and then they've also got the Group 2 for the 2-year-old trotters and a Group 2 for 4-year-old and older mares, which I reckon is sensational. So Timmy, as always, thank you very much for joining me. Also got an interview with Robert Evans. And I don't have a lot else. I just had a little bit going on last night, so I couldn't get the show up and done. So, yeah, I do apologise for that. Can't believe I just destroyed my thing, but we've got a few other things going on. Need to go through and make sure I get all of those up and date. Inter Dominion starts this weekend. Excitement level from people. Let's see if you're excited or you're not. A lot of people don't know the show's going out, so make sure you, if you are watching, get involved. But yeah, so the Inter Dominion's about to start at Ballarat. I'm pretty excited. It's good to see a lot of people in it and ready to go. We've got a few people watching there at the minute. But yeah, I'm interested in to see how people's excitement levels are around the Inter Dominion and their fields. The Kiwis, there's not a lot of Kiwi interest actually in this year's Inter Dominion because, of course, the only horse is Tony Hill. He's a good trotter. Bolt for Brilliance is the only horse that's come across. So, which in a way is a little bit disappointing, but didn't put the camera in the right spot. Might move that camera when I get a chance later on. So, plenty to talk about though. I did my all trotting show during the week, and then I went live with that, but yeah, unfortunately just wasn't quite at the top of my game last night, so I thought it'd be best to not do the show there and miss that one. So someone who always chimes in would love to know who just gave Timmy White the thumbs up. Oh, I know who it was, so that's very, very good. But yeah, plenty of people tuning in and getting involved. So yeah, as I said, Saturday night, fields are out. Mark Lee. Stacey Mark went to Wagga last night. Have a look at the results. This is the joys of what I can do. Talking harness racing though, but please, anyone get involved. But I know Stacey ducked up to Wagga yesterday afternoon because I heard Victor the Inflictor, maybe it wasn't last night, maybe it was the night before. Might have been Tuesday night, was it? And yeah, Wagga at the Riverina Paceway, and Mark's put his both hands over his head, so that may not be a great... Oh, he ran last. Sorry, Marky, didn't see that. Stood down for 28 days. He broke. Okay, long way to go. She was looking for a driver too, so Stace hasn't had the best of drives there, so sorry, Mark. Timing can be everything, Mark, but that's the way I do work with this show. But good to see you made the trip to Wagga, and I'm sure that they would have looked after you very, very well in Wagga. Greg Gangle does a good job up there. So small fields, which is interesting. That's for the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge, which I think is the equivalent of our Vic Breeds. So yeah, Brett Hogan. Hello to you, Bretty. Yeah, small fields there. But it seemed like you guys were about the only Victorians to head up there this week. $7,000 stakes for the other races. So it was really only the Breeders' Challenge races that would have had people involved. Could have had that screen actually on, but I'm glad I didn't. And sorry about that, Mark, and even more sorry, Stace, because when I see Stace, it was good to see Stace at Breeders' Crown Night Saturday night. And the daughter had a win in the pony trots, and her name escapes me just at the minute, so it will come to me in a minute. But yeah, she had pretty sure she had, yeah, she did. She had a win because she was carrying the cup around, so she was a very, very happy child. So yeah, but anyway, that happens. That's what happens when I do these shows and don't do too much research. Go from there. Excitement level about the end of Dominion. I would like to get someone at least, be a little bit positive about it. Going in, so because it is here, it's on our doorsteps right now. Good New Zealand racing. There's good New Zealand racing the week after. I actually just been confirmed that I will be there from next Wednesday through to the Sunday or through to the Monday actually, and go from there. Cambro, thank you very much. I could ring you in, Cam. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, I know you won't answer your phone. Bronte. Thank you very much. And she was one happy winner. That she was more than, I think you got more than a week's worth. Don't worry about that. I reckon she would have slept with the cup, Mark, the way she was hanging on to it the other night. And well done to her. And well done, I must say, pony trots here in Australia. Kima Frenning and in all sorts of trouble. Doing a huge job with them. Used to run the Gippsland Harness Racing Training Centre. Jenny, Mark Lee, help me out. Jenny. Anyway, they're doing a huge job. And they're just terrific. They did a huge job there. They did a great job with the kids at St Arnaud. Very, very happy kids because it was freezing cold outside, and they looked after them. The kids couldn't have cared less about the weather, but no, good bunch of kids. But I do like the way that they're marketing them. Jenny Lewis, thank you, Al Morrow. Jenny Lewis, I knew it was Jenny. The way that they are looking after these young kids, the future of our industry. So that is very, very key. Good to see you, Al. Good to have you on board. So, but yeah, a lot going on there. In the pony trot world, I think they're doing good jobs. And also Kima, just with her, hey, don't mind hanging up on reporters. That's very good of you. Kima and Jenny Lewis do a super job with the Victorian ponies. They do, Brad Hogan. You're spot on. Doing it differently. They're doing it that little bit different, which I really like. I think it's very, very exciting. I don't like having my little tool that I normally have. I can't, I want to just try. There, it's not locked in. I'll just try and move this up a bit because basically I'm flying solo tonight and just chopping off the last little bits of the words down there, which I don't want to do. So, yep, there we are. Got it all in now. So, being able to do that. But you're right, Brady Hogan, they're doing a great job. I like what Kima's doing with the Instagram posts too. I think it's terrific. It's not really good when you turn around and there's a camera in your face and she asks you a question. You know you've got to answer it. Otherwise, you're going to look like a goose. But, yeah, she does it, which I do quite well, Cambray, before you time in and try to say anything. Yeah, so I think you do a very, very good job. They are. So, and great for the sport. Right, Breeders' Crown, highlights and lowlights. Captain Ravishing, I'm sure, was a highlight for a lot of people, but there would have been a lot of other people there as well. So don't be scared to get involved with those as well. And as always, all my shows are brought to me by plenty of sponsors and people getting behind me. And I reckon this one is the one I want. Stay in prices there for Harasta Trotters. So they got their 4 chilled semen. Of course, the guys in New Zealand with On Solitaire. We have Classic Connection and Honor Streak in New South Wales. And then we also have Used to Me back here in Victoria. Going from there. Then we have Bird Parker, Bold Eagle, Brilliantissimi, Iridan, Love You, Orlando Vici, Quaker Jet, The Best Madrick, and Tomoko. All as frozen semen going through. They had a good winner the other day at Bendigo, Tuesday night. I have got those up. I was at Bendigo. I was actually, unfortunately, didn't get in to see a race, but I was there in the car park helping a man out. I wanted to watch this horse. It was one of the reasons I did want to get there and get a chance to Tradie Lady by Trixton out of Glen Ferry, Unixa. Very, very impressive first start. Clinton McSwain, hello to you, Clinton. They're trotting 21.8 actually, and winning the Aldebaran Park Breeders' Crown, the second heat of that there. Beach Memories for my good mate Dennis Howe at Mataranka Farm. Congratulations to Dennis. I actually, instead of me looking like a goose reading these the whole time, which Cameron sent me through a lovely little picture of a turkey. Oh, why is that doing that? That shouldn't be doing that either. Not sure what's going on there. We'll try something different there in a sec. I know why, because I had to do something very quickly. So, yeah. Cameron, Mr. Campbell. I don't like being called Mr. Campbell. There are two people that call me Mr. Campbell. Now, Clinton McSwain and Lee Miles. I feel old. I am old, but I don't like being referred to as that old. So, yeah. But anyway, hello to you, Clinton, and good to see you're positively received in your interview the other night. So, in very wet conditions, I cannot believe that they set the trainers and the drivers out in those conditions the other night. It was bloody horrendous, to say the least. So, now that's what I was going to do. John Newbury, well done, Marie Newbury. She sometimes watches, although. Respecting your elders, thank you very much, Clinton. You will get a whack behind the ear next time I see you. Beaten Modern Mayhem, Danny Thackeray and Mel Thackeray. They're doing some good jobs at the minute with Aldebaran Park as well. But Up the Ante got the first at Shepparton tonight. And, of course, the Inter-Dominion heats go there to Shepparton on Tuesday night, next Tuesday, for the second round of heats. And promises to be a good night. I'm going to actually be there. Hello, Alex Early. Got in before you got in there, Alex. So, but, yeah. But please, look, get involved in the conversation. If you want to bring something up other than respecting your elders, as Mr. McSwain has just said there, try and hopefully get this computer to work the manner in which I wanted it to. Duncan McPherson, hello to you, Duncan. Oh, yeah, I'll keep Duncan happy. This is not a trotting show tonight, Dunk. This is a pacing show, but we'll go from there. And Danny and Mel just had a second, so... it's always good. It was only a Woodlands night tonight because the sun was hot, and it was the first one that I found. Right, let's see if this will work this time. Yes, right. So we're away now, so I can now show you what I was actually reading myself. So this was Tuesday night at Bendigo, Sheffield Peak. Aldebaran Trot was won by Sting of a Wasp, Kin Van Avenger, and Chris and Brad Angove do a great job with their small team. Of course, they've got Sundance Courage in the Inter-Dominion, but Sting of a Wasp as well. Another horse by Kin Van Avenger. Kin Van Avenger, of course, is by Love You, doing a terrific job at stud for limited opportunities. I actually saw a picture of his owner just recently. I was doing a little bit of Googling just the other day and happened to see it there. Anyway, that's okay. So the Woodland stud, well, I'd had them both on. Put both hats on and go from there. Was won by Aldebaran Misty by Sky Valley out of Mason Magic for Jeffrey Webster. Ryan Duffy, isn't he driving up a storm as well? Rhino doing a huge job there. Beating Kai Valley Piero, beautifully bred horse for Brett Lilly. Aldebaran Park Breeders' Crown for the 2-year-olds. Silver Trot Group 3 was one. That's the one was won by Tradie Lady by Trixton out of Glenferrie. Unixa sold through the Nutrient sale, and I'll get to the Nutrient sale very, very quickly. Regan Todd. Hello to you, Reg. Don't have one of your hats, mate. It's in my car, so you don't get my hat on. It's been getting a run, though, at the races. Don't worry about that. Uptown Lady, and she's Ruby Roo ran third. Then we have, as I said, Beach Memories for Mataranka Farms. Dennis Howell, they'll be getting a heap of horses ready for the sales this year for the Nutrient sales. Probably Sydney and Melbourne, knowing those guys. It's in the car, Regs. I'll go get it in a minute. I'll put an ad on and I'll bring it back for you. Don't hang up. No, not an ad. I'll put a video on it and I'll go and get it. But it's been worn at the races. Don't you worry about that. If you watch any of my interviews, Regs, it's been there. Beach Memories. Chris Alford drives this horse for Dave Moran. Must be a bit of a tricky horse, and Puppet just shines with those horses, which is really good. Brutally Handsome. Well done to AJ and Bo Tyndale as well, taking out the Woodland stud. I've got two hats on. No one really knows because I haven't got myself on the picture. Beach Filler and Major. So it was good night at Bendigo. And then the Alabar Breeders' Crown for 2-year-old fillies. Our Princess Di by Huntsville. David Miles out of Diamond Castle. Horse that he raced there for a little while, so Dave would be very, very happy with that. I'm not 100% sure. He didn't have that horse for sale. Or he might be trying to sell the mother. He might be trying to sell the mother of that horse, I think. Best be careful with that. But, yeah, Paradise Valley and Tin Joe. Good little lot of wins there for Dave Miles. Chris Finazio second. And then we had the IRT Breeders' Crown for the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings with Our Vinny by Vincent, who stood, as I said, they had the stallions tender there for the guys at Bendigo. Rohan won the Harasta Trotters, another of my sponsors, and then the Woodland Stud won by Majestic Speed. Jaden Barker, don't think that's really any comfort to him, but good to see the young man getting another winner. Dave Miles has had a really, really good night. And then Christmas Babe, Shannon O'Sullivan and Jimmy O'Sullivan took out the last at 5 to 11. We won't go there. We won't say anything about how late those nights are and everything else. Rightio, Regan Todd, I'm going to keep you happy. Brad Steele, hello to you, Brad. Don't forget me when you go to do these big announcements for the Trotters. Not sure if Duncan's there, but Brad gave a little sneaky little tease that in a week or two in Queensland, there's going to be some great initiatives for the Trotters coming up very, very shortly. It's great to have you on there as well. As I said, I'm flying solo tonight, so if anyone wants to get involved in the conversations, please do. And it is a very, very random show about quite a few things. Majestic Speed won again today. Well done, Clinton McSwain. So, at Melton. It has to be at Melton. Well, we can go one way or the other. Yeah, we'll go this way because I don't think it's any good when people can't see me. What I will do is we will go bang like that, and then people can still see. Yeah, that'll work. I'll keep my head out here and keep the wording in there. Doesn't look totally silly. Builder Bob for Chris Finozio. Bell Topper Boy Kent Harpley, well done. And Benji Hall, Greg Hansen and Taylor French. Anne-Marie Conroy didn't have a really good race in that one, that's for sure. Kenny Tippett ran race number 2. Rider Reply, Elderbaron Gwyn. Elderbaron Park Trot second heat, Majestic Speed. So he's won 2 for the week. They didn't pay a lot of money for him. Brad Steele is on there. He was racing up in Queensland for a long period of time. And I'm going to have a quick look here. I reckon that's his 4th win for the stable. 3rd win, I reckon it'll be now. Looking at that, 1, 2. 3rd win for the stable since joining them in early October. They didn't pay a lot for him. They're only running around in those $4,500 races, but they're having a lot of fun. Zeus Dan, Alan McDonough for AD Investments. Good luck to you guys. Captain Treacherous, give us a go. 4-horse trot, unfortunately, with a few scratchings there. Leanne, Queen Invasion and Normandy Bell all taken out, but Tipsy Turvy, quality mare herself, beating Illawong Moonbeam, Copacabana. Geez, that's a good trot. $10,000 race and 4 horses went around. Seriously. Oh, well, can't work that one out. But anyway, she's a nice little mare. Charlie Walker, Ken Whelan, congratulations to you, Ken. Michael Bellman in the cart, beating Jar Bell for Brent Jewell and Majestic Jewel for Ronnie Comben. Well done to you guys. Ben Studd's Standardbreds, Island Rock and Roll, Mitchell Frost and Connor Crook. I think that's the horse that won last week at Wagga as Albury, last Friday night. So I think that horse has won 2 on the bounce. Mitch Frost doesn't train a lot, does help out Wayne Potter. Did win at Albury. He's won 3 on the bounce actually. He does help Wayne Potter out, and of course Wayne Potter won the big race over the Breeders' Crowns. The guys at Mataranka Park Standardbreds, they're on. I already give you guys a little bit of a wrap, but hello to whoever's watching, and I hope all's well. Wayne Watson, well said, Harps. Unfortunately, that horse didn't get to go around the other day at St Arnaud because of a nasty fall in the last, but good to see you got the win there. Beating Wingate Guy, Charisma King for Sam Barker, Bailey McDonough. The McDonoughs have had a good day out. Connor Crook got a double with Sweeter Than Sugar by Sweet Lou out of Beach Melody there. And we got 3-year-old maiden trot, The Naked Truth, Craig Knott by Love You out of Starkus. Beautifully named horse. Naked Truth, beautifully bred horse actually. Got the chocolates there from a Cool Investments. Well, Ron Comben, he's at a second and a third. That's not a bad day, though, I suppose. You can have worse days when they don't run second and third. So, Clint McSwain, race 3. Oh, no, you told me what race it is. Thank you. Thank you very much to Clinton for that. Rightio. When I was at, before I went to New Zealand, I caught up with Robert Evans, gentleman that trains a trotter called Over and Out, who at the time was unbeaten, and he was a little bit of a story, the horse, because he's an older horse and there's a little bit of a backstory. Caught up with him at Redwood Day, and I apologise because I ended up going to New Zealand and this interview got lost in the wash. We'll put it out later on as a separate interview, but I thought, well, I'll share it tonight on what is a very ad-lib show. Doesn't go for very long, and I'll be back very, very quickly afterwards with the cheese cutter. Talking trotters now, and we got Glenn Conroy in the background, but I'm catching up firstly with Robert Evans. Firstly, welcome to Talking Trotters.
Thank you, Paul.
I like finding out little stories and backstories. Firstly, whereabouts are you from, Robert?
I'm from Warrigal.
That's what I know a little bit. I spoke to Craig Demler. You've got a horse going around called Over and Out. This is him, going around in the second last today at Maryborough. If he wins, I don't have to worry. I'm not interviewing you about whether he can win or he can't win. I want to know a little bit more of the backstory, I suppose, of Over and Out, and a little bit more of the backstory of yourself.
Right, let's go.
Where are you from?
Warrigal.
So I knew that.
Yes.
You work at the track day there?
I do part-time there, look after the track, yes.
Yep. And how did you come to get Over and Out?
He was advertised online, and I rang up and done the deal with Greg Sugars, yeah.
What attracted you to him?
Well, I had a look at his replays of his first couple of races. He went enormous. He had a bad leg, and I thought he's worth a try, you know.
And the bad leg, like did he do a tendon or something like that?
And, yes, he done a suspensory. So, so we worked on his leg, and so far so good.
And 3 from 3, but just been super impressive. The one thing I like I said, where are you from? And it's Warrigal. You're not scared to travel.
Well, you got to go where the races are. See, I liked him out of stands. He can do a lot wrong. Out of stands, he settles better because he can over-race. So you got to go where the races are.
A little bit of the backstory of yourself, though, like where your harness racing background and how long you've been in the sport?
Forever, my whole life. My father had horses. He had a horse called Hamlin, many, many years ago, was a top horse. He was with Donny Dove, and I went and worked for Donny when he shifted to Avenel, done 3 years with him, and then we had done a couple on my own, then got married and give it away for, I don't know, a long, long, long time, and then started again, and yeah, that's where we are.
You made of the right stuff. 3 years with Donny Dove, you would have learnt what work is.
We worked hard.
And also then how to look after horses and how to, especially legs. That was one of Donny's little skills that a lot of people didn't know about.
100%. And they all come back.
So what brought you back to the trotters?
It's always in your blood, isn't it? I don't think, I was away from it for a long, long time, but you were still always looking, you'd always look at the results, watch races, always looking, mates with Jeff, just, yeah.
I won't hold you for much longer, but how many other horses do you work?
I've got one other, a little post, a little 3-year-old that I haven't started yet. He's had a couple of races that I had a mare called Our Ruby Rose that I won a couple with. The bloke that bred this 3-year-old, Stanton Break, and I've done the deal with him, and I've got him at home now, and he's probably 3 weeks away from racing.
You'll be enjoying the ride this horse has given you?
It's phenomenal.
Was it exceeding your expectations?
Way.
She's had, 6 starts now for 5 wins. Like, she's got a great little record.
6 starts, 5 wins in a second.
So, all right, well, as I said, this is not to moz you or nothing about pre-win. I just say I like finding out a bit more about people. Well done. Glad to have you back in the sport. Our sport needs more and more people like yourself coming back. So, well done. And good on you keeping Craig Demler on too. He's an unsung driver. I think he does a great job. You can say whatever you like. There's no stopping this interview.
Thank you. With Craig, I rang him and said, look, mate, I've got a horse that goes all right, but he can do a lot wrong. Would you drive him? He said, yeah. You never take him off.
And there's no need to.
No need to. Why would you?
And he's a gifted driver, and he should be in our sport as well. So well done to both of you for keeping him in. Good on Jeff for keeping you on the straight and narrow. You got a long day here at Maryborough. Hopefully you go home with a win. If not, I don't care, because what you're doing for our industry is great. So well done, mate.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Right, I'm back. Brad Silk, we'll get to you. But Reggie, I've got the cheese cutter. you can see the cheese cutters on there. It's all ready to go. I was going to move that camera to there because I'm doing everything from here, but it's there. But anyway, I'll worry about that in a minute. I've got more to do. Nicholas O'Connor, hello to you, Nicholas. Philip Wood from South Australia as well. This is the Regan Todd cheese cutter, and this is a cracking hat. Now, there is no branding until you put it backwards, and you've got to put it on the head properly. And the branding does go there very, very well. But where this hat is really cool, you can wear it out. So I'm big on promotion. I'm big on putting the branding out there and all the rest. You can wear this hat out anywhere. Get into anything because it's got no branding on it. You can sit at any function and all the rest. And it'll be there on the back of the shirt. Now, I can't see who's coming in. I need to just try and find something here. HRV and other racing jurisdictions don't like to promote, I suppose, branding and brand awareness too much. I'm not sure why. I think it's a good way to improve our industry and get our industry out in a different light, if you like. But some people don't like doing it. I reckon I've gone past it. Either that. I must have gone past it because I can't see it. Bugger. Anyway, I don't want to find that now. So they don't like necessarily putting up posts with badging on it. This will take me a while because they put out a lot of stuff. But they put this post up. Oh, I know I can find it easier because I'm sure I retweeted it. Got to go back to my own page. This is good quality TV. Don't worry about that. I'm going to get to you in a second, Brad Steele. You've got some big you've said something that's very, very true. There used to be a thing here that said retweets. Anyway, I can't find it very quickly. I thought I'd be able to just put my hand on. No, there it is, right there. So, give me 1 second. And this is where these things work so well when you've got branding in the right spot and you think outside of the square. So you can just see down there, now I'm pretty sure how that does work. So HRV are very, very protective about how they brand things and all the rest. And that was taken by a HRV person. Didn't see the badge on the back of the hat and it stands out Reggie's colours. It looks good. I really like it and I think people need to think outside of the square. So to get the message out there and go from there. Plus, it's a lovely hat. All my interviews last week, Reggie, were done in it. So, yeah, you don't have to worry one bit about that. I wear this hat very regularly and quite often I enjoy it. Debbie Hibbard is on. Debbie, your son is not on the show tonight because he's cricket training. He doesn't have to do, what do you call it? Race calling because Sandown is on the Saturday night and he's got a big meeting with the Sandown, the Melbourne Cup. And he's doing a huge job, Daniel Hibbard. Unfortunately, we could have had him in the harness, but the Greyhounds have scooped him up and away he's gone and he's doing an enormous job with what he is doing. But he's actually gone to cricket training tonight instead of spending some quality time with me. So it was a little bit disappointing. Not really. All right. Brad Steele said there before about the nutrient sale catalogue could be out as early as next week. It is very, very close to coming out. It can be viewed online now, but yeah, it has gone to the printers. Not 100% sure of the date. Em won't be watching because she's not expecting me to be doing it on a Thursday night. And I know Mr. Mark Barton is busy, but key dates for the nutrient sales, these came up the other day. Oh, the Gypsy Queen, of course she came on. Sydney sale, 4th and 5th of March. Parade on the 4th, sale on the 5th of March. So the 4th and 5th. Queensland sales event, which will be the 11th and 12th. The parade is on the 11th, sale is on the 12th. Bathurst on the 19th. Not sure if there's a parade, but if there is, it'll be on the same day. And then Melbourne, 1st through to the 3rd. So the parade's on Saturday the 1st. Sale all day Sunday and a fair portion of Monday. So, yeah, they're the key dates for the nutrient sale coming up. And the catalogue will be online very, very shortly. That is for sure. So I've got to put this hat on for the Gypsy Queen because she's actually watching and she's been You need one of these at Whitsundays. Don't you worry about that. So Katie Perry is someone that I met up there in over in New Zealand from Wales. She's a lot of fun, but you need one of these hats. Clint McSwain, still available sales preparations. But we'll have to put a line through that idea soon as it make room for available for the other business. So so Clint McSwain is still looking for yearlings. We did an interview last week in the middle of the rain. If you're looking for someone to prepare your yearlings, don't be scared to give Quentin McSwain at Manburley, Standardbreds, Manburley Stables. He'll tell me off. He'll put it in properly there in a sec. Contact him that way through Facebook. Or if he wants to, he can send his number back from there. The hat, it is back. That's what I'm saying about marketing though, but Reggie's hat is super. It is a great hat. If I wear this hat, everyone knows it's Nutrien or Camp Drafting as well. Branding is key, and I think they're terrific. I think we need to get more and more of those, these sort of branding ideas. Think outside the square and go from there. That's why I put my C on the chest. Don't forget, that is proudly brought to you. Wish I had my little thing going there before, but hit the wrong button at the wrong time, and there it is, Safety Specialist. Daz Aiken, 0400 309 902 for all your apparel. And, of course, this emblem here, got to go to the right side, is done by Daz Aiken and the team at Safety Specialist. And as I said, just get in touch with him on 0400 309 902. Manburley Farm. See, I said I'll get it right one day and go from there. So contact Manburley Farm on Facebook and that'll be fine. Mary Jane Mifsud is watching. Hello to you, Mary Jane. Good to see you back racing a horse. Joe Pace, you cannot get one of these hats. Mark Barton would have cringe if I give it to you. So that's all good as well. Please make sure you tune in to Talking Trotters. I caught up with Joe the other night. Great to catch up. Very happy man, very passionate. I wonder if he's come down from Cloud 9 just yet. The great man Joe Pace. So he was very, very happy and rightfully so with his horse Harry Stamper getting the chocolates. Another Kiwi bred. I've got enough Kiwis on there watching the show. So well done to him for the other day. Just trying to make sure I get across everyone's messages. Shout out from the Whitsundays. So Katie Perry is up at the Whitsundays. If she's telling me she's going to see me at the Rat on Saturday, she's going to go from the Whitsundays to Ballarat. We'll see how the Gypsy laughs when she gets to Ballarat, that's for sure. It will be cold, but it's going to be a lot of fun and really, really looking forward to Saturday night's bumper card at Ballarat. I'm going to put it up. Just give me 1 sec. I've got it started. Just find that button. Oh, yeah, I did it that way, didn't I? So you can still see me hat. I've got lots going on here. Race number 1. First race is at 5:34. It's a 67 to 74 rated race. Who's their favourite? $1.20. Jack's Hawk for Emma Stewart. And Mark Pitt seem to be dominating every race when it comes to horses with the hobbles on it at the minute. The Stewart and Pitt combination. Right, SEN track. Talk about branding. Sen track, all one word. That's interesting, but okay. Inter Dominion Trotters Championships first round, $25,000 to the winner, and you can see the horses there. Just trying to see. Just Believe is your favourite, of course. Greg Sugars. He's got 4 horses in, and I think 3 of them are all in the market, which is a terrific effort. And I must say, well done and thank you to those guys the other day for showcasing me, showing me how they train. Those 2 horses, it was really, really good. Chinese Whispers, of course, won the other day. And Powder Keg, a little bit of a favourite of mine. Hopefully he behaves himself for Lisa Miles. I'm going to actually catch up with Lisa tomorrow. Leanne for Bob Cookenmeister, 82 years old, trainer, driver. He's keen to be partaking in his first ever Inter Dominion series, so congratulations to him. Bolt from Brilliance, the Kiwi horse, of course, he is there. He's your favourite. He's your series favourite at the minute. The way Sundance Courage went the other day, the way Sundance Courage gets out of the gate too, he could make this race a little bit interesting for a couple of those horses off the front row there. Illawong Stardust started very short last year. Illawong Stardust did in the Inter Dominion Carnival. And Pink Glass first up from a long, long spell. Let's see how long since she's had a start. And she hasn't had too many starts. She, a little bit like Illawong Stardust, it's nearly last year. Yeah, 11th of December 2021. was the Inter-Dominion final. She had one other start after that in which she ran second. So 12 months since she started. Going forward, that went the wrong way. And then Illawong Stardust, just going to have a quick look at this horse. I think it's only had the one run since the Inter-Dominion. Oh, no, it's had a few since the Inter-Dominion final. So it raced right through till June. I was with McCarthy's, and then, yeah, it's come back to Tony Peacock's now. So, yep, it was there for a while. Steve Cleave's watching. Kaylee Hand is watching. So we've got plenty of people watching. Don't be scared to fire questions through. It's just about having a bit of fun, this show. There's no structure. Tree Tommy for Mickey Barbie and Anne-Marie Conroy. Good luck to those guys again. Thank you very much to Mick for showing the unique way that they train their horses. One overhaul, $2, not for mine, not what I've seen last couple of times at the trials. Horse off the second row there. In a minute, I'll be catching up with Cam Kirkwood. I caught up with Cam Kirkwood a little while earlier. Mufasa Metro, bred by the Kirkwoods, $2.50. He's going terrific, and good luck to those guys going forward. So there's a good sprinkle of horses there. No scratchings out of the trots, which is really, really good. The paces, the first of those is race number 5, and there is scratchings in this. Of course, the emergencies are scratched already because they've already got a run. 13 and 14, Make Way is holding out to get a run. But yeah, quite a few horses in there. Expensive Ego. Who's your favourite? Oh, $1.80 McNairn. Of course, Mark Pitt and Emma Stewart, as I said, pacing races. They've got quite a strong hand in this. Jillaby Sylvester, Mark Lee and those have actually got 2 horses going around in the Inter-Dominion now because the other horse getting it. So Tango Tara, heard an interview the other day, and they were virtually alerted that this horse wasn't quite right, but the interview didn't care. They just continued on saying the horse had a chance, and sad to see his scratch, but obviously everything wasn't quite right in his last track work. So Andy Gaff's elected to take the horse out, and Alpine Stride, again, a scratching as well for Darren Binskin, is out, giving the first and second emergencies, Monomia and Jillaby Nitro, a start. They both have to draw, unfortunately, 13 and 14, but both horses have a start. Good luck to Ryan Sanderson and a few of the others for getting a drive in a series. I'm sure it's going to be a career highlight. Majestic Cruiser, $5. Thank you very much. He's flying. His 2 runs in New Zealand were exceptional. So tricky draw, but he's low flying. That is for sure. Majestic Cruiser. And then the last of the 3 heats is the SEN track Inter-Dominion, race number 7 at $8.52. Better Eclipse draws a pole and is a $1.70 favourite. Perfect Stride, Jack Trainer making the trip down, Pitch Perfect. There's quite a few New South Wales in this. AG's White Sox. Bonsell Benjamin having its first start for Ryan Duffy as a trainer. It'll be his first runner as a trainer in Inter-Dominion, so good luck to him. Doubt that's ever been done before. Torrid Saint, Nuratak Prince, and Bunduran. Amanda Turnbull as well. Cast No Shadows. That's a real interstate feel, this race. To be honest, Max Delight, Bonsell Benjamin, Better Eclipse, Like a Wildfire, although the Kiwis could say that that's their horse. Troy Harley says hello. Hello to you, Troy. It's a bad habit of not answering his phone lately, Hales, but that's okay. Feeling Cruising. And then, yeah, the last 3 races, 10:30. I can safely say I won't be there at 10:30. It's good to see, actually. 8:52, so that's 11 o'clock for my New Zealand friends, so which is good. We don't want to be having a really late night if we can help it, so the Kiwis won't be able to. If you're going to wear the hat, drop the front down a little. But then you can't see my eyes, and then I can't see. At least I got it on the right way, Joe. Don't worry. I did a show one day and I had it on backwards, so don't you worry about that. So it's all good. I'm going much better. Rightio. Said there before about the nutrient key dates. Don't forget my friends at NZB Standardbreds. Their national standardbred yearling sale in Auckland is on the 19th of February, and then Christchurch the 20th through to the 22nd. I'm pretty sure the trotters are on the 20th. Thank you very much, Troy Harley. Yes, I am sounding a lot better than yesterday. You might answer your phone in a minute, Troy. We might even give a half a preview for the Sandown Cup. I'll throw you under the bus. Depends on what you're doing. I'm going to actually throw, so in New Zealand this weekend, I'm going to be over there next weekend for the Aces, so pretty excited about that, which is on the Sunday. So Sunday week I'll be over there, and I'll be there a couple of days beforehand for the lead up to that. There's some really, really good racing going on, especially at Addington on Friday night. So that's tomorrow night. There is 10 races, I think. Yep, 10 races, bumper card of horses. The last is at 9:37, which is actually 7:37. So just make sure you tune in to that. There is one Group 1, two Group 2 races, but some really, really good lead-ups. And Cam Kirkwood from HRNZ joined me for a bit of a preview of those horses and just to highlight some of these races. So I'm going to throw to the Cam Kirkwood interview, and I'll be back very shortly. The New Zealand Harness Racing Show, getting in the middle of On Loose Lines. Cam Kirkwood joins me. Hello, Cam.
G'day, mate. G'day. Good to see you after a while, couple of weeks.
It has been, and anyone wondering, this might be our second take. People get used to this sort of stuff when I'm doing things, don't they, Cam?
Oh, they do. Yeah, you expect, with you're a bit like one of those horses, a bit hot behind the gate. You fly with a bit of gate speed, and you can just got to grab hold into the first bend, can gallop, but you always come good.
Yeah, might not add the audio going. That's okay. It was some of our best work, but no one else heard it, so it didn't matter too much, but that's okay. Cam, we've got a big meeting coming up at Addington on Friday night, but it's one of those comments we say quite regularly now with the New Zealand racing and harness racing in general. With the end of the season, the way it's been done now with these racing years, every week has got some bumper racing, hasn't it?
It does, yeah. Every week, if it doesn't have some sort of group or listed racing, the undercard's just as sharp and probably deservedly of group status. So, no, it's really good racing at the moment.
It is indeed. Addington this Friday night is a meeting you and I are going to highlight. But next, Sunday week is the Aces meeting too. So, I mean, that's going to be a massive meeting. 4th of December, I'm going with?
Sunday the 4th. Yep.
Yeah, so big meeting coming up. And this race meeting we're going to highlight a little bit. It plays, I suppose, into that, as a lot of the horses will be used, and this is a lead up for that meeting on the Sunday.
For sure. This is like the semi-final to next week's grand final, so it's good racing.
Right, 3 main races we're going to highlight, and 3 what you'd call undercards, if you could call them that, with Akuta, True Fantasy, and a couple of the others. It's not really an undercard meeting at all. They're quality horses. But we're going to start off with race number 4 tonight. Today, Cam, the Lone Star Sire Stakes for the 2-year-old trotters. Sire Stakes payments are due too. I did a thing with Martin Pearson, and I'd have to say one of the rudest shirts I've seen for a long time, Cam, but I did do a thing with him. So don't forget that your payments are due right at the minute. But this is a great little field, a couple of unbeaten horses, a couple of names I don't know a lot about. There's a lot of intrigue into this 2-year-old trot, mate.
There is a hell of a lot of intrigue. And the beautiful thing about trotters is you just don't know where they're going to come from. So there's a lot of unknown, especially with the 2-year-olds. As you say, there's a couple of unbeaten ones there in Gold Bullion and High Energy. But yes, we don't necessarily know just how good some of the others are yet either. So it's pretty good.
I said to you before, I thought High Energy would start favourite. You're in the other camp, or you think in the other camp that the punters are a little bit keener on Gold Bullion?
I think they are, purely just because of the draw. I think the draw comes down to it a wee bit. Just looking now, yeah, High Energy's 3rd favourite, so you're a bit off the mark there, mate. But
not yet,
Gold Bullion's $2 favourite.
Wait,
not yet. Could be right.
Wait till the results come in, and then you can tell me. Anyone that knows me knows I'm the worst tipster in the world, so don't listen to me on that. The trotters are so good though, aren't they? Anyone can come up with a good one. Breeding helps. There's no problems there. I'm sure High Energy, I don't even know it's breeding, but I'm sure it's very well bred. I know Gold Bullion's well bred as well. But they can come from anywhere. Father Patrick out of Highgate, of course he's well bred. But they can come from anywhere, can't they? And any of the trainers can have them too. So there's a few names there that I haven't come across that have got some nice horses in this race.
Yeah, for sure. And one in particular that I really wished probably got a better draw would be Miss Gracie for Andrew Fawkes. He's not a big time trainer, but he's got a really nice filly here. She ran third in a listed race, and by Royal Aspirations too, it just helps give those Colonial Stallions a bit of a push that, hey, you don't need to be spending massive money or going to the top end to get a really nice horse.
I do a little, quite a few things with Cam Bray as well, and he was saying about Royal Aspirations, they're going okay.
They're going better than okay.
Yeah.
They're flying, and he's punching well above his weight. He's just got to leave that absolute top liner now, which I think he will. Actually, I think he's gonna. It's going to be born in a couple of weeks. Actually, I think that champion will be. Just so happens to be mine, but that's all right.
Not related to Mufasa.
But no, he's going. It is out of a half sister. So hopefully, it's got a bit of the family ability.
There's always a good push where Cam Kirkwood's keyed in it. The next race we're going to highlight is the What the Hill. That's why I've got the Woodlands hat on. Don't worry about that. Race 5 for the 3-year-old fillies. And again, they can come from anywhere. I was fortunate enough to be at Ashburton. Was it Ashburton? Yeah, I think it was. And Laura McKay had her little horse Sigrid win the first race on the card, but she was just so up and about because she said now she'll definitely get in. She thought she could get into the Oaks, but that made it sort of sure. And it was just great to see a young person that trains 2 horses, get a horse good enough to be in the Oaks. And man, she was excited on that day. I would imagine today and probably tomorrow morning she'll be jumping around. She'll be well and truly up and about, ready to go.
Yeah, it'd be a funny one. The might the class gets, but no, hey, good on her. It's, as you say, you only train 2 horses, and to get a horse in a Group 1 and into the Oaks is pretty special and pretty impressive. But yeah, as you say, they come from anywhere. Well, there's a Captain Treacherous out of a Bettor's Delight mare in the Trotting Oaks in Double Delights. So you just never know.
And she's a ripper, Double Delight. There was one over here that Nathan Purden actually had by Treacherous as well, but he's been a bit of a naughty boy. But this mare, like I saw her, I reckon, it had to be a last win because it was a second, and she was just awesome. I was over there the night I think it was the Northern Derby when Highgate beat her on that occasion. She just chased so hard. She's such a unique little horse, but she's just an absolute gun trier, isn't she?
Yeah, no, it was Highgrove that night. But yeah, it was the way she took the ground off him from where she was in the running. It was pretty impressive to see, that's for sure. So hey, that draw might not look ideal on paper, but to the second line, she'll get her chance and she'll punch through.
There's a few names there I don't know. Jack Harrington, he's got 2 in the race. Cam, can you tell me much about Jack?
Yeah, so Jack probably hasn't been training for long. Maybe somewhere between maybe 7 or 8 years, or around there. And no, he's always had a nice enough wee team. He trains out of King Barron's property, and these 2 he's gotten here go really well. One of them, the Miss Yo, I think it is. Yeah, is a half to Hayo, which was one of his first horses that kind of put him on the map, and is actually half to Bolt for Brilliance, who's obviously over there contesting for the Inter Dominions.
Just on that too, when you say about that Tony Hurley, of course, is over with Bolt for Brilliance. So Tony Cameron deputising for Tony. Would he have driven Double Delight much?
At home, yes, I would probably imagine. I don't know about the races. I don't think he's actually driven it at the races, but I'm sure he would have driven her enough at home to know all her tricks or traits or anything she's got. So no, there'll be no issues there.
Who's the favourite in that race, and who do you like?
Oh, look, the pride of the South, the one and only Nathan Williamson is the complete and utter goat of the industry. He's the best there is. So
Fair.
it's a bit.
Why don't you lay it down just a little bit thicker for him?
No, his filly's very nice, and it's the unknown of her. Like she's beaten everything so far, and I know he's pretty happy with her. So with the draw, I'd imagine she'd be going forward and maybe too tough to beat over the 1980.
Yeah, it's I see. There's only one win. Oh no, Matty's in there as well, but Ricky May driving one for Phil. there as well. Maddie not driving Phil's horse, so that's interesting, is it, or not? Do I read too much into that? You're looking. Maddie's on the 1.
Um, I'm looking. So hang on, where's? Oh yeah. No, you are reading too much into that because I have a funny feeling. I'd hate to be wrong and put you wrong, so I'll look it up. Um, his wife owns the one, so he's probably and he bred it, so he's probably
He's
thinking, yeah,
he's playing the smart game. See,
keeping the wife happy.
that's
Yeah.
that's why I put you on there. As soon as his wife owns it, that's it. You don't have to say any more. He's a smart man. So there's no problems there at all. The last of the races, and I like seeing these, and this is one thing I know a lot of the trainers and that are there calling out for mares races. We can have mares races, mate. We need the trotting mares races as well. And this assembles what for mine anyway, seems like being a really, really good field of trotters. And they're all mares, up and comers, looking after them, for the industry.
For sure. The thing about this meeting in particular is through the birth date change, we made a couple of real significant changes for the mares, trotting especially, and where there were some gaps. And the Trotting Oaks was a $50,000 Group 2. That's now a $100,000 Group 1, and this is a new race. So to see a full field with emergencies for the mares, to race for good money and to get some black type, it's really pleasing to see.
No, it is, and it's got a good field. There's some good form in it too, by the looks. A little bit hard for me to assess because I don't know a lot of these horses. I didn't see too many of them while I was over there. But there's some good form. Some Streaming Live and Peregrine both got very nice winning form about them.
Yeah. Streaming Live has just jumped out of the ground recently. She's absolutely flying. And yeah, Peregrine was super over Cup Week, and it's great to see a horse like Funny Face come down from the North Island for the Rogerson Ferguson team. So no, it's a great field, and then you've got the just ultra consistent horses like the Bloss, who will always put her in it and probably deserves a placing or some nice money at this level.
Yeah, I have indeed. How does Funny Face get a name? I thought it might have been by Monkey Bones or something like that, but it's not. It's by Peak, so I don't know how it gets its name.
Maybe it's just got a funny face.
Maybe it has.
I don't.
Hey Cam,
I don't know.
This is high quality stuff. You and I, we got to make it this way. You know that, so it's all good. The other 3 races we wanted to quickly highlight though were the support the Horse Ambulance Trust, the Sundon 3-year-old mobile. This is a good field. Also, we said there before, Highgrove in this as well. Hot to Trot, Nazareth, El Conqueror. They'd be wrapped in this field, especially for the lead up for the Derby next weekend.
Yeah, no, wrapped with this. Obviously, just for Colts and Geldings, with the fillies having the Oaks, but to get 8 and 8 good horses, it's a cracking wee race to start off the night. Mystic Max is flying for Michael. He doesn't train a hell of a lot of numbers wise, and then as you say, you've got the rest of the field virtually all real chances of running a drum or even potentially winning it if a couple of the favourites make mistakes. So no, it's a great race to kick it off.
It is in. I like the depth in the trotters, and I forgot about Mystical Max, and I'll get into trouble because he was. He's by Mystic Village, which stands at Harasta Trotters. So I have to look after my sponsors, Cam. I get into trouble if I don't do that. The hilarious guest, 3-year-old fillies. This has bought a cracking field, headed by True Fantasy, Queen of Diamonds, though. No matter what, it's a great little field of fillies, isn't it?
Look, I'm going to admit, I was actually surprised to see this. I thought the likes of True Fantasy and Queen of Diamonds might maybe scare a couple off, but I'm over the moon and really, really wrapped with the size and the quality of this field. And it shows that next week for the Oaks is going to be just as good, if not better, because for so much more money. Bit of a shame a horse like Rakira Rebel scratched, given she's a real gate flyer and would make the race interesting. But you've got Snow Robin for Craig Ferguson that's up here, and that has 2 for 2 this time in, including a really impressive Cup Day or Show Day. Cup Week, we'll just say Cup Week to keep everyone happy. Cup Week win.
Yeah, No, and I want to try and catch up with Craig at some stage. People said to me he's a little bit aloof. He's not big on the camera and that, I believe. Is that right?
Oh, he's not, but he's got the best UDR in the country, and we all aspire to be as good as him. So he's got some real interesting one-liners. So if you can get him talking, you'll have a good chat.
Most people, I can get most people talking. So it's ones that, what did Tim Williams tell me when I went to interview Rory? Just hang on to your microphone, you might not get it back. So they're the ones that do worry me, I must say. And the last race we are going to highlight is the Ian Dobson 3-year-old. Now, you'd be rapt that you got a cooter into this, as you said, I think there before we were saying, ran fourth in the New Zealand Cup, and he backs up in a $20,000 race, of course, owned by Ian Dobson, and Ian's not experiencing the best of health. So I'm sure there'll be a sentimental run for him. But you got up and comers in here like Republican Party. He's one of those horses I fell in love with. As soon as I saw him in New Zealand, I had to love him. And then Bark for Johnny and Jenna Dunn. It's a really good field, isn't it?
It is, and this is another one that when you get a cooter that has taken most things in front of him at the moment, especially at age group level, and fourth in the New Zealand Cup, and Republican Party, a real up and comer who's absolutely flying. I was a bit worried about the size of the field or the quality, but like Beach Ball, we all know how good he is on his day, and he proved that last start. Sandwave is a very speedy wee horse for Nathan. Got a Northerner and Nicholas Cage come down. Franco Indy's a Group 1 winner. Magic Four's won a $200,000 harness million. So it's a cracking race, actually. It's going to be quite good.
And these all getting ready for the Pacing Derby next weekend.
Yeah, correct. So all getting ready for the $250,000 Derby next Sunday, which will be interesting. Hopefully we get a bit of luck with the draws and just to make the race a bit more interesting, and we'll see where things go from there.
Just quickly, Ken, before I do let you go, we want to promote that meeting. I am going to be over there. I won't say exactly what day, but in the lead up to it. Field sizes for the Derby, would this be what you're expecting for the Derby, or would it be a maximum field of 15, 16 runners, you think?
If we don't get them at least 12, we'd be fairly disappointed. Especially when you're putting out so much money. Like, as I say, it's 250,000. You want to be getting a good field. I would hope there's emergencies, but depends what happens. Like if Akuta comes out this week and wins by 10 lengths, then there's another 20 lengths back to the third horse and Republican Party second, sort of thing. A few people might go, "Oh, look, we don't want to butcher our horse when we think he's quite nice."
Yep.
But yeah, we'll hopefully we get a full field and we'll go from there.
Nah, good as gold. All right, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. As I said, this is a little bit different. Included in On Loose Lines. It can be random, this show, but I appreciate you coming on in today and helping me out with this. And as I said, we're going to be doing plenty more with New Zealand, not just next weekend, but all the way through, right through till pretty much winter next year. We've got things planned. So thanks very much, mate, for giving me 5 minutes and also working overtime and putting up with my audio issues. So I appreciate that.
No worries at all, mate. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cam Kirkwood. Right. We have Cam Bray giving us a good rundown on all of the horses, not all the horses, but a lot of the horses going through. Good to see Graham Hand on. I haven't seen you on there for a little while, Porky, but nice little drive-by for Cameron saying he looks good with makeup on. Haven't missed him at all. I've got to say well done to him because, we'd almost finished the first one and unfortunately we'd missed the run. On Loose Lines is a very loose show. Just while we're on the New Zealand part too, must give a big shout out to Ray Green. Don't think he watches Facebook. Funny if he did. But he's a gentleman and a man that I got to know a little bit in the last couple of years, and he's a great bloke. But unfortunately, copped a horrible kick to the tummy the other day by a young filly, and it's put him in hospital in intensive care, and I believe he's going to be out of action for about 9 months. So I've got right. Hang on a second. I've got Troy Harley on the phone, but I don't have him connected to my Bluetooth. Troy, you're going to be there in about 2 seconds, I reckon. You should be there now, mate. Are you there? Hang on.
Yeah.
You should be there. Yep, now you'll be there. You there now, Troy?
I'm here.
No, he should be here.
I'm here.
Just give me
Hello.
a sec. Why is that? Yeah. You there, Troy, or not?
I'm here.
Oh, hang on. I can't hear.
You're right now.
Well, they say, Troy, never work with children.
Animals and Children, Paul
Yeah.
Paul Campbell.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm like, everything's working. Why can't I hear him? And it's because I didn't have my speaker turned on. So
You know, the amazing thing about that is that you're a part-time producer of these shows. How bad's that?
I'm not a part-time. I'm a full-time producer of this show. It's written,
Yeah, this
spoken,
show.
edited. on
We've
the
trusted you. We've trusted you with some coverage of some of the biggest meetings ever run in the country, tracks, and you can't hear yourself. How good's that?
I do want to. I'm going to give a drive-by, actually, Hales, if you don't mind, for 1 sec. That's not why I got you on though. But George Ferrugia the other day saying how great the coverage was on racing.com to have a dedicated greyhound-only channel. We were doing it 2 years ago for 2 years, and unfortunately they let it go. Totally agree with him, but it was being done. It was being done on YouTube and the Watchdog app, and was there for everyone to see. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
Speaking of
But
that-
I will
Speaking of that,
say,
can I ask you? I've got to ask you a question.
yep.
HRV race replays not on YouTube. Is there a reason?
No, I don't know.
The reason I asked, I was at CNM last Saturday night and not a chance to watch a race. Went looking to watch Captain Ravishing and Ladies in Red replays. Couldn't find them to watch on the big TV, so I had to watch on a phone and then eventually cast them. And just a little disappointing. I would have thought that in this day and age, if you had a channel there with the replays, it would have been great to watch them on the big screen clearly.
Yeah, and I can happily say to that too, Troy. They
It's not a
do-
crack, it's a suggestion.
Well, no, they do actually have the what's the names. The replays are all on YouTube channels, so I don't know why they don't. They have a YouTube channel, but yeah, so they probably say that the website does the same thing, but you got to be able to cast them. I know what you're saying. YouTube is on all TV remotes. Go and pick your remote up and you'll see YouTube. We've been banging on this how long, Hales? No one listens to
Yeah, I
us.
know. I just,
No one listens to us, but my New Zealand
I was just
friends.
surprised with all the terrific developments of coverage, with Trots.com and whatnot. That I was surprised that it wasn't there. But anyway,
I wonder, actually, it's funny because I was about to say my New Zealand friends that have a New Zealand thing, maybe it's got something to do with who owns the coverage and can't go there, because I do know the contract is horrendous what they signed up to for harness racing. But that's a story for another day, Hales.
Yeah.
We won't worry too much. I can't get the fields up. I'm not happy, Hales. The computer that I have will not give me the fields where they're going to be, I suppose, viewable, if you like. But just very, very quickly, well, not very quickly, I couldn't care less. This show goes for as long as what I want it to, and I encourage people to get involved. We've spoken about the Inter-Dominion and that, but anyone out there want to talk greyhounds? Postman Pat, I've got to check him up too, see where he's at and that going forward. But the boys haven't sent me a message, so he mustn't have gone any good this week. They send me a message every time. So I'm his number one Australian fan. But we're going to talk greyhounds for a little bit because, one, do you know what Hibbard's doing on his Thursday night off?
What?
Cricket training. You guys are as bad as each
Oh,
other.
is he?
You guys are as bad as each other. So,
Oh, he's got to get his eye on somehow. They can't get the game in, can they? It's always wet.
I said, no, well, that's right. I said to him about coming on, and he goes, I said, oh, you call, and he goes, no. I said, oh, that's good. You'll come on the show. Well, no. And I was like, oh, you've got to be joking me. So anyway, rightio. So the Sandown Cup, Sportsbet Melbourne Cup,
Yep,
sorry,
Melbourne
at
Cup, yep.
Sandown Park, Group 1 event. This will make every harness person cringe. First prize is not of, it is $650,000 first prize.
Yep, so it's first four split $1 million.
First four split $1 million, and then every other runner, or the next four, obviously, get an extra
Yeah.
$2,000 just for turning up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
And then you've got the 105 grand of the winner bowl, Treese, Smile of the distance. The Sir John Memorial worth 25 over the 600, the provincial plate worth 25, the Cup Night Sprint worth 25, the Cup Night Stays worth 10. There's a match race worth 30. You get 10,000 just to turn up, and all the other races are worth 10 to the winner.
Right. So these are heats, and they are a lot heavier to tow, but all from fifth backwards in the trotters heats get $370 for turning up. And the paces get $450 for turning up on the night. That's the unplaced, let alone the stake money difference. We won't even go there, House, but that's a story for another day. I'll get myself into enough trouble. I get no work for HRV as it is. Might be because I just point out the obvious. I point out the obvious too many times. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, you can only say it as you see it. And as you said there before, it'd be handy if they could get something up on Watchdog, up on YouTube, and we'll go from there. But anyway, that's all right. Rightio, first race. Well, the only race I'm going to put up on the big screen because it's a bit tricky. Oh, I've even got to change my big screen. We've got shit going on everywhere here. Hales, we'll talk about the Sandown Cup, though. I'm going to cover your pretty little face up.
Melbourne Cup, yeah.
The Melbourne Cup too, sorry. Oh, what's going on here? Hang on, I've got a bigger issue now. You've got to be joking me.
This is gold.
Shush. Don't pick on me, Hales. I'm good at this job. Righto, so a couple of the big guns for a start, Hales. They missed out. Namely Welshie's Fast and the other filly whose name just...
She's a Pearl. She's a Pearl. So She's a Pearl's run was phenomenal, really. Welshie's Fast was slightly disappointing, though the conditions when those races were run don't often suit the bitches. The driving rain of the face, the track a little bit softer and a bit heavier. It just doesn't seem to suit them as much. Where some, oddly enough, you don't do wet track form. Sort of like the harness, I suppose. You don't do wet track form as such in dogs like they do the horses, but there are dogs that will handle it and dogs that don't handle it. And quite often the bitches don't handle it and the dogs do. And there was two super impressive heat winners that 4 or 5 weeks back won very similar style and similar times in similar conditions. And sort of the rain was never going to bother them and it didn't.
So why does it affect the bitches differently, Hales? That's interesting.
I think it's more the size and the ability to try and manoeuvre and grip the surface more so, but also the force of the wind. If you're a 35 kilo dog compared to a 25 kilo bitch, you're going to be able to handle that breeze a bit better. I mean, there's more chance of you getting blown over than me in a storm. So I'm tipping a fair bit of that, but also some of the racing styles. We've had dogs in the past that just couldn't handle it because they were, I suppose you call them flat-footed. They raced on their wrists a little bit more than they do their toes, and they can't get a grip. They slap the ground and they don't handle it. But just some do and some don't. I know Bob Douglas, he was very confident going into his heat with his bitch, but she's failed 3 times in a 15-start career, and every one of them was in driving rain. And as soon as the storm hit, he said, "One bucket," and that was the case.
Wow, that's pretty cool. The other one you just said then, run with their wrists rather than their toes.
Yeah, so we had a real good dog years ago. This called Domain Vitale. So
we've got to do a show. It's sort of a show on this. But keep going.
Yeah, so she was a jet. She broke a bull track record and broke 2 or 3 other records and stuff. But if on a wet track, because she used to run sort of slap her wrist, I suppose, on the ground, and then get the nails in. Whereas a lot of the dogs it would be pad and then nail and just grab it like you're sort of grabbing a handful of sand yourself. But others are whacking it and they're whacking the wrist, and you can't get the grip on those wet conditions. And she was one, as I say, she was an absolute star for us. And she still won in the wet, but nowhere near as fast and couldn't handle it as well. And that was just basically because of her racing style.
On Loose Lines, mate, I'll tell you can learn everything on this show. Don't you worry about that. We learnt that Cam Kirkwood wears makeup. There's lots going on, hats and the whole box and dice. I'm still trying to get this field up and done too. Don't worry. This is cutting edge stuff that I do. Right, Melbourne Cup. So the field itself, quality wise, how does it stack up?
It's pretty bloody good. Plaintiff's in outstanding form for Jason Thompson. Titan Blaze has been going around everything. For the last 12 or 18 months, Vice gripped the West Australian. His win was phenomenal in the wet. Yachi Bale is in terrific form at the moment. Fernando Mick has been in multiple group races. Zippy Tesla is a Group 1 winner. El Dorado is knocking on the door of a big race, and Paddy Wants Pats. He's heading towards the Phoenix, and he's been in sizzling form and has run 29, 20 or better 3 or 4 times at Sandown. So it's a terrific race, and the beauty of heats and finals, you have to be on your game and get a bit of luck on the night to make the final, and you get the odd roughie get through, and the field sometimes overall depth-wise might look as good as it could have beforehand, but it never ever disappoints at this level, and I don't think Saturday night will either.
Blue Stream and Pictures, we know who that is. If you're on Instagram, go and give it a follow. There's no hassles there. But Clint Anderson, the photographer with the foldy backside, it's got a bit of a crack in it, hasn't it, Hales? I think a few people have seen that side of him. He's giving you a bit of a drive-by, mate. Geez, mate, surely you could have hit Haley up for a Bendigo greyhound hat. Can't see one in the background. I'll have to get one of those. So, yeah.
Clint, in his defence, he's got about 3 T-shirts, 4 jackets and 5 vests. So he never asked for a hat. He asked for everything else.
Oh, me? Yeah, I could go and get one of those hats. There's one jackets. There's one sitting over there. Don't you worry about me. I don't miss out on much. I must say, I don't have a Blue Stream Pictures jacket or hat. So we'll have to see if we can get one of those. But don't forget, if you're on Instagram, Go give it a follow. Blue Stream Pictures, that's for sure. It'll keep you entertained. Jeffrey Dixon nearly missed the show, mate. Well, it's a different night, mate, so you're excused, and it's been very, very random, so don't worry about that. Right, Hales, I'm going to give this one more go. I reckon I've got it fixed, but let's just see what happens. Oh, what is going on? It's not fixed. Don't know what's going on there. I'm a very frustrated man. Right, so I can't get the fields up. Right, you go through them, mate, because the TAB don't even have a proper fields up either, so it's a little bit frustrating. So plaintiff number 1 for Jason Thompson, can he win?
He can win. I think he's won 3 out of 3 from the red. He's coming into it in sizzling form. He opened up $2.60 or $2.70 favourite. He'll be the favourite on the night, I would think, still off box number 1.
He's $3,
and certainly hard to beat.
$3 as we speak at the minute, House.
So he's got the drift a little bit, but he's probably $2.60 in a Melbourne Cup final was probably sort of short. But I reckon Jason's won 4 or 5 Melbourne Cups. Clint probably be able to correct me there what it is exactly, but his record in Melbourne Cups is absolutely phenomenal. And playing off box number 1 will start favourite, and he's a faultless beginner, and that'll certainly help him. There's no question of that.
Titan Blazer, $6.50 and $1.95 the place.
Yeah, look, the box will certainly bring Titan Blazer into it. Titan Blazer is a super dog you want to own. He's never one that you sort of tip in the group races, but he's always around the money. He was impressive winning the match race at Bendigo on Cup night. His form since then has been terrific, and off the box, he's certainly one to consider for multiples. There's no doubt about that.
Adam Smithson with Vice Grip in the horrible box, I reckon, box 3. Is $7.50 is, sorry. He's
going to be in the second half of the field early. I need a bit of luck, but he's super, super strong. The conditions were good for him last week because he was able to get to the centre of the track and really rip home. And he's going to need a fair bit of luck, I would think, from box number 3. But like all of them, I'm not going to say none of them can win, but he wouldn't be in my top couple. Mark
Delbridge with Yachi Bale. Again, another moderate getter. Moderate early speed by the looks in this horrible place.
Yeah. Probably looking to want further now, particularly this sort of class. Probably a dog, I'm not sure where he's going to head, but if he goes to a race like a Sale Cup, follow a dog like Yachi Bale, particularly if it draws off the track, he's got sort of no great box speed and will want to get centre of the track. I couldn't have Yachi Bale, but certainly anyone looking for an investment over the next 5 or 6 weeks when he gets to 600 and beyond, certainly look at Yachi Bale for a little investment somewhere down the track.
David Gill, a man I've come to admire from doing those shows, what we were doing over the last year or so with Fernando Mick. Whenever you see his name, Hales, you just got to give him a chance. Like $6.50 and $2 basically. Seems ridiculous overs for one of his dogs.
Yeah, probably because of the box draw and the fact that he can't run as fast as the other dogs, as fast a dog as he is, and a terrific record he is. If this was a 2-out race, he'd probably going to sit about 5th in terms of rankings of overall pace over the distance. But He's in terrific form. He's a faultless beginner. He does everything right. David won last year's Cup with Koblenz, so and he got the luck there, I think, was drawing after a dead heat in there to who went through to the final. So, David's record in finals is as good as any trainer, big or small, that I've seen in the last 20 years, and you can't discount Fernando Mick. But he's not in my top couple, but he's just so honest.
I love the way he handles himself both before and after. He's always very humble in victory, and even if he's got a short price favourite beforehand, he gives everyone else's dogs a run before he does his, at least. Bradley Keel has, he's actually got 1.5 runners, I suppose. Zipping Telsa has got a run, drawn 6, $18, one of the outsiders, Hales.
One of the outsiders, but if he can drop onto the fence and get a bit of a run, he's a big monster of a dog, and he just shoulders his way through, and that's what he did the other night in the driving rain. And I'd certainly look at him for some value to be charging home, particularly if you can get across underneath the Archie Bale and Fernando Mick and find a spot sort of midfield early on. He'll make his presence felt.
Daryl Holmes with Eldorado. Eldorado's going around. That's funny, actually. Eldorado's going around as well. I know, different dog, different name. Don't worry, leave me out of it. For Daryl Holmes, it looks like an ideal draw for this dog, is it?
Yeah, it really doesn't worry him where he draws. He's got a terrific record every box. He's in great form. It's just that I'd love to see Daryl win it. I mean, Daryl spent a long time, several decades ago now, you probably have you saying that, but involved at the Sandown Growing Club. He's been associated with some of the best dogs that have been, with the likes of Black Shiraz, a big Ginger Boy, and he had made a Melbourne Cup final with Petit Verdot, his wife was telling me the other night, and that's got to be 20 odd years ago. So it'd be nice to see someone like Daryl that just pokes around with a couple. Him and Robbie Lasur are joint owners and joint breeders of Eldorado. It'd be nice to see Eldorado get the cash. But if you're on Eldorado, you'll get a sight at some stage because he's so honest.
And one of the, I don't reckon this is a great name for a race caller, but Paddy Wants Pats, Kelly Bravo. It's easy to say once or twice, once, but try and rattle it out real quick. It comes out. I've heard Daniel even get his, have a little bit of trouble with it. But is this a good draw, barrier 8 for this dog?
Yeah, I think it is. 1/8 was going to be nice for Paddy Wants Pats. It's probably the dog that I'm leaning towards, apart from Plaintiff. I'm sort of going 8-7-1, but he's just in phenomenal form. Kelly and Brett Bravo know when to get the dogs to peak as well, and the conditions won't bother him whether it's dry or wet. He enjoyed both of them, and he's just in outstanding form. And I personally think he's the dog to beat.
The two emergencies. I should have got Brooke on. She would have been more. I would have got ratings would have gone through the roof with Brooke Innes on. But Zara's Ivan instead of too old.
She's not big on dealing with media.
Hey.
She's not big on dealing with the media.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, but she's all right.
We're very privileged. We normally get her on. We're on a very special team.
Michael House from New Zealand's come in. He says he's late. You are late, mate. We're talking greyhounds. We're talking the Melbourne Cup of Greyhounds and 650,000 first prize. If you don't mind, Michael, think about that one for a minute. So can either of the emergencies win? Zara's Ivan or Amron Boy?
Amron Boy certainly could. He's going to start favourite against Wow She's Fast in the match race, the race before. Race number 9, he's got box 1. Wow She's Fast has got 3. Amron Boy, regardless of what race he's in, he has to be considered. He's running the final in the heat last week. He got beat, but his run was probably the run of the night. And that's nothing unusual for him. He's just got ridiculous ability. Take Wow She's Fast out. He's the fastest dog around Sandown that's on the night. And if he gets in the final, he'll make his presence felt. But I think he will be winning the Sports Bet Showdown race number 9, the 2-dog race against Wow She's Fast, which it's just a mouth-watering match race to have the track record holder Wow She's Fast and one of the fastest dogs in training, Amron Boy, going 2 out around Sandown. What are we looking? 23 minutes before the Cup. That's a wonderful entree.
What about this for the harness blokes? $30,000 for first and $10,000 for second in a 2-dog race. Just upset you. I'm not going there, Hales. I won't get any work ever again. What? Surely she's overs at $2.30.
Yeah, look, the issue is, I mean, she's not showing the pace that she was, and I don't see how she can run Amron Boy down. Her box speed seems to have left her at the moment. She's actually looking more and more dour and wanting more ground, and that's what she did in that 4-dog shootout. She wasn't the best to begin, and she had to work her way through and then prove too strong for She's a Pearl. She's not going to prove too strong for Emron Boy. If he steps and leads her, even though she's a track record holder, I can't see her running him down because she has to get to him and get round him. She's got to be going a length or so better, and I don't think at the moment she is going a length or so better than Emron Boy.
No, very good. The Bold Treese, they're $100,000 to the winner, 105. What's your pick there?
I'm with Marine Susie or Corborn Magic. Corborn Magic last week won a final of a 5,000 winner race at Dapdale on the Thursday night and lobbed at Sandown Sunday night and was super impressive. Never seen the track, running 41.56, less than 48 hours later over the 700. A wonderful training performance by Jody Lord and a super chasing performance by Corborn Magic. It's going to be hard to beat. I think I like Marine Susie for Brendan Purcell.
Trotton man. At least we got the Trotton blokes back into it. Mind you, I think
that's what I mentioned.
I think he's a purebred greyhound man now. I don't even know if he watches the trots anymore, Brendan, but he was a good driver back in his day. Clint has given us his tips 8, 1 and 7 for the trifecta for the Melbourne Cup. And then Michael House gets a little bit cryptic, so you just got to try and work through it. But more or less what he's saying, by the time the dollar comes up, he'll be able to buy a feed or two at Mickey D's. Don't worry about that. So he's about right, that's for sure. So 600 grand. Yeah, but it's a big race program. It's a big meeting, full stop, isn't it? This Saturday night, and it's I think we actually got him started. I think it's great that Daniel's got a leg in because I think we actually got him started, didn't we, Hales?
Yeah, I don't know whether we get much of a mention in that story. I mean, there's a chapter on us, but everyone else seems to get one. But
heard him on SEN and RSN and every other N and that you can find lately. And you and me know nothing on
every other network gets a run, but not the Bendigo network. But anyway,
forgets us. He just gives us, as I said, he's rolling the arm over instead of coming on and picking up the phone. I mean, what sort of an effort is that? What else you got, Hales? Because as I said, if I finish now, I'd have to go and help Marie feed, and I don't like doing that. That's no good for me. That
not keen on that.
not keen on working. It's overrated. So, any other greyhound news out there?
No, we've got that. Obviously, the Phoenix is coming up, which is interesting. There's one more slot left, which it'd be Eldorado. Dog like Eldorado hasn't got a slot holder yet. That's chosen the Phoenix. That's the $1 million the winner Phoenix at the Meadows on what is it, the 17th, I think it is, of December or thereabouts. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens after Melbourne Cup time. So those 8 slots to be finalised. That's going to be a terrific race, obviously, and I think the Silver Chief slotted in between. But it's interesting times to have a slot holders race worth $1 million as well. Behind a $1 million Melbourne Cup, it's been a good couple of weeks. Obviously, the Top Gun stayers are there as well. That's why they call it the Dream Chasers, I guess, is that everyone's dreaming and chasing that sort of cash. But locally, meanwhile, we've got the dual code meeting at the Christmas meeting. We're going to do something there.
No, I got the slide.
You double booked yourself.
No. Well, I don't know who would know. I'm going to New Zealand now next week. Who knew that was happening until today? But I got the slide. It's got it there. This is
your passport holder now.
This is a must meeting. This is dual code Christmas party for kids. Free entry. Kelly Sport, which I saw those guys. I've seen them a few times. Hales, the guys at Kelly Sports, seen them set up. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, that'd be cool fun and all the rest. Swan Hill had them. Horrendous conditions. Those guys did a huge job to keep the kids fit, doing stuff all the time. I reckon they're terrific. Make sure you take your kids there and have a bit of fun with those guys. Face painting, visit from Santa, Christmas movies, laser tag, kids barbecue, prizes to be won. There'll be much more going on. Plus, we're going to be there, Hales.
Yes.
We're going to be live streaming. I don't know what we'll call it, where it's on loose lines, or what we used to call that. I was showing before the races, or if we call it before on loose lines.
Yeah, before the races, yeah.
We might call it before on loose lines. How's that for a name? That actually,
just loose will do.
That just works. Yeah, we're just loose. But yeah, we'll go live. We'll be able to show the greyhounds. Pretty confident we'll be able to show the greyhounds live. Very confident we won't be able to show the trots live, but that's just a story for another day. We won't worry about that one. Unfortunately, again, that's a contract. It's got nothing to do with HRV. It's a contract that they signed into many moons ago, so we won't be able to, but we might be able to do some cheeky positioning of cameras, if you like. We might be able to put that in the wrong spot. And Troy Harley dabbles in a bit of race calling, so we might be able to do that as well.
We might be able to do something there.
You didn't know all these things were going to happen, but yeah, they're a chance of happening. That's for sure on the night, Hales. So bit of fun.
I've learned to adjust.
But we will. Well, we might be able to get Daniel to come across from time to time and show his wares. So yeah. Good Bendigo boy, actually. Bendigo have won the last 2 races, actually, at Shepparton. Julie Douglas, Modern Jive, and Better Brother for Chris Finozio, a 2-year-old by Pet Rock. So there was one other thing I had to tell you there. One other comment, Hales, and it was about the Thompson Kennel have won 4. I'm presuming that was Melbourne Cups, you said, wasn't it? That,
Yeah.
Yeah. So Clint got involved there as well. He's also saying in the Bold Trees, Corborn Magic and Untapped for the Quinella. So he's becoming more of a tipster now than a photographer. Can you see a new line of work coming in for the great Clint man?
Well, why not? He might as well. He's got that many other things, that many other pies. He might as well do that as well.
Well, he sneaks into the odd photo and gets himself in the wrong positions, and he has to pray to me to switch to a different camera to swap him over. I reckon he wants to get in front of the camera as much as behind it too. Don't worry. So, yeah.
Well, next time we do something at Bendigo, we'll have to talk to Charlton and get him up there to do the photos. Maybe Easton, we'll try and get him on as well.
He won't be there for the Christmas show, will he? No.
No. We'll try and get him up at Easter or something like that, and try and get him involved that way.
Yep, it'll be right. It'll be unsolicited by GRV, Clint. So don't worry about that.
We'll get him on there.
Bring your own pay as well, Clint, just in case you get excited. It's BYO wages. Just in case.
There's always some merchandise floating around.
He might have started rubbing his hands together and thinking you're beautiful, but he just wrote back. He just said there, not a chance. We got some chance, Clint. Don't worry about us. So yeah. You got to have fun in life. That's all I do with this show. Try to have fun, promote what's going on. I've got to find out about me greyhound. Michael House might be there. Someone might know how Postman Pat's gone. I think it was in a race over the weekend, but I just like being able to promote fun and to have fun, Hales, and that's all I try to do. So I must say thank you for coming on. You haven't answered your phone much this week. You've been out shopping with the girls more than answering your phone, but that's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't get answered a lot, to be honest with you.
What about last night, the cricket? Because I was going to go down and watch it. How'd you go last night? You didn't throw a calf or anything?
Yeah, I did.
Serious?
Serious. You just mocked me after the event.
Did you really do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gold. Sorry, but that's Cam Bray was talking to me today.
We're seeing him good too.
Cam Bray went to the gym this morning and he said he was having a pretty good session and he went to step up on a box and blew his calf as well. So it is an old man's injury. You've got an excuse, Hales. Cam Bray doesn't. He's got a couple of years on you and I. So anyway, it's past his bedtime.
Postman Pat won at Christchurch on the 18th of November, his last start.
Yep, so that was last week. So, yeah, the boys
they
sent me that
since,
one through, so he hasn't started since. So,
no,
it's all good. But, yeah, he's an exciting dog. And, as I said, the stable got a couple there. Big Daddy, it's a great name, Big Daddy, because the callers get behind it as well. So, when you say, we called our dog Big Daddy, it doesn't mean much. But when the callers get in there and give it a bit of a raspberry. Hales, very, very quickly, with the Inter-Dominion on this week and in your area, has it captured your imagination?
The Inter-Dominion?
Yep.
I love the Inter-Dominion.
So,
the Inter-Dominion, regardless of where it is, the Inter-Dominion Miracle Mile, and particularly when I've still been used to them being switched over. They were in March and November once before, the other way around. But the Inter-Dominion is always the race that I watch, both heats and finals, obviously, and made the trip to Newcastle for the heats last year, and that's why I was keen to watch some of those replays last week. Obviously, the 2-star performances, and then have a look at what goes on this week. But the Inter-Dominion, regardless of where it is the race I've watched ever since I was a kid.
Yep, and that's all we need, and that's what I keep saying. And we just got to keep it. The one thing you just said then, March and November, and I understand why they move things around. My New Zealand friends, the New Zealand Cup will always be the second Tuesday in November, and And if you want to go to New Zealand, you want to be in part, like, it's the same for the greyhounds, actually, isn't it? Because it's just, it'll be I won't say it's the second Thursday because you could get caught out, but it's that Thursday after that Tuesday as well for the Greyhound Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it just works. And marketing is so much easier when you've got a set date and people can work around it and go from there. I gave them a bit of a rap for Ballarat having an early finish. It's 10 o'clock, the last heat of the Inter-Dominion on a Tuesday night. Again, missing the kids, mate. We make it hard for kids to get involved in it, don't we?
Yeah, I know. It's difficult though with the time slots you're given. When you don't control the time slots, it's not easy, and you've got so many big races to be run, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right. But it would have been nice if it finished at 9 o'clock or something like that. And I know it's not on prime time, but if it was on YouTube, Hales, well, we won't go there, will we? We'll just leave that one.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. The Melbourne Cup. This is not a leg of the quaddie this week. Basically, that's because of the betting trends. That there was a time when it wasn't so long ago that 9 o'clock, regardless of the night of the week, that was when your turnover dropped off. But there's a trend now that says between 9 and 10 is a growth period. So hence the Melbourne Cup being race 10 and not a leg of the quaddie this week.
Right. Well, maybe that's why. Maybe on a Tuesday night. So because it just seems odd because they got 4 races before it, so they could have dropped them a couple earlier if they wanted to. But I suppose legs of the quaddie, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10.
There'll be a reason. It'll be around income, I can guarantee you.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that might be why 10 o'clock's the last race. So yeah. Yep. I know. I remember zonks ago. We're just waffling on, but it's okay. People enjoy or they don't. I'm okay with it. But we used to question the races at 11 and 11:30. They beamed the races back to France. They were. I reckon it was a Monday night for the Trotters.
The Monty. They're in the Monties, aren't they?
Yeah.
For them?
And we used to say no one would be betting on this, and they were, obviously with the French betting into it, but they were massive. The pools that they held on those races were massive. So it's probably
the trends changed so much. I mean, Saturday morning dog races have been tried for 30 years and they've just all failed. And then all of a sudden they came on during COVID and they're holding a couple of $1 million every Saturday morning at 9:30 every morning.
6 o'clock this morning, Hales, I turned the TV on. Sky Channel was on because obviously it was the last thing I must have been watching or whatever. England Greyhounds, and there was I think they were English, either England or America. I think they could have been a combination of both. I reckon there was 3 separate meetings going on. Wasn't expecting that at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, a while back they started betting on Perry Bar and Swindon and Nottingham and Caliente in Mexico, I think, the dogs. And yeah, it's amazing to see what coverage you get now.
Yeah, well, there was 3 meetings running simultaneously. Bang, bang, bang. And it was quite different. And I tuned in because I like that sort of stuff. I like to see different. I like to think different. I do think different. Most people know that. But yeah, I like to do different. So yeah, after race 8, normally the Cup people clear out. After that, a move to race 10 maybe to keep the people hanging around in the track. Good move, Clint. There might be a little bit in that as well. So
yeah, there is a little bit of that. But I can assure you the wagering turnover as well, because obviously a feature race normally rounds out your quaddie. But Clint's right as well. It's not that late really, because the meeting starts early at 6:30.
Yep.
So you're not hanging around that late, but yes, with all the entertainment that's on. I think they've got there's a jockey that sings.
Oh, yep, Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie Dolan performing and a few other things going on, so there'll be plenty going on.
Don't pick on me. You brought that one yourself into the conversation and I had to bloody remember it. So, yeah, it's all good. No, I think it's good. That was one thing I loved about New Zealand Cup. I was upstairs, like where they had us where we could leave our computers and that set up. And I went up there after the Cup to put one video up and I came back out about 10 minutes later and it was like, where's all the people gone? It was just this mass exodus of people and there was still a race to be run and people were trying to, because they were on the infield and trying to, and we're like sheep. Like as soon as that last race is, the feature race is over, they just take off no matter what is on. The last race was still a good race and people still bolt out, don't they? So,
yep.
Yeah, so anyway. Hey, Hales.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for
No problem at all.
having a random conversation. Thanks to everyone that's got involved, including you, Clint Anderson. We will go from there. Colleen Batson just joined in. Bit late to the party, Colleen, but it is an unscripted one. It's a Thursday night, and I do enjoy this. I'm happy to have this conversation steered in whichever direction. Guess what, Hales?
What?
Next Wednesday, it'll be live from New Zealand again. Pretty happy about that.
Good life. Good life. When was the last time you stuck your hands in a horse's mouth to do their teeth?
Yeah,
how long ago? You can't remember.
This morning, actually, I did one here at home. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a love job.
It is an over. Yeah. No, actually, it didn't need doing either. So that's even better. So don't you worry about that. Hey, Hales, I'll get into trouble for not telling anyone, but Belittled and Mac Cheddar are both racing together tomorrow night. So don't say
well, Little's biggest fan just laid on the bed here next to me, so I'm going to have to tell her.
Yeah, she'll be happy. I'll tell you right now what time. You're going to ask me what time I think it's that race there.
Oh, I can look at that.
3 minutes past 9. They're both in.
Beautiful.
So you better have $1 each way on Belittled at $26. So, yeah. But
last time you steered me in one of those sort of odds was nice with Mac Cheddar. So.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He was those odds when he won. Belittled was those odds when he won at Swan Hill too. Don't worry. So yeah, and Mac Cheddar's $18. So anyway, they're both going good, and we'll just have to see how they go. But it'll be right.
Sounds good.
Hey Hales, thank you. This has been On Loose Lines.
No worries.
On Loose Lines on a Thursday night for something very, very random. I got to wait. Oh, there it is. There. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. Thanks, Hales, and thank you to everyone for joining me. I'll be back next Wednesday.